secondary, we are live. Hello. If there's some sort of secondary, if there's some sort of secondary redemption period where they have an additional 6 months after the initial foreclosure, which that I don't know about, but if that's what Will's talking about, then that's a possibility. So anyway, good morning, everybody. We were in the midst of a heated conversation there about a property deal, a fantastic deal that we may have basically missed out on by like, what, 1 day? Anyway.
One day, because of something filed at the courthouse that wasn't showing up in the records. So, yeah, that's the real estate game, people. This could be a really interesting topic. Basically, we were looking to buy a property real quick, and then we'll get into what we need to talk about today. I had some liens and judgments on it. These people hadn't paid taxes in 5 years. Paul and I found them. We thought we had a little more time. We found them, I think it was the 9th. Got them in escrow on the 10th, and simultaneously to us opening escrow in order to stop this private foreclosure, the private foreclosure was closing at the courthouse that same morning. And the reason we didn't know is because we couldn't possibly know what was going on simultaneously to what we were doing. And now we're actually sifting through court documents because we have $28,000 on the table to make for this deal. And if we hire an attorney and do a little research and we can save this deal, and if it takes 3 months, it's worth the time and some legal fees. So we'll get into this when we figure out more. So good morning, everybody. Friday, September 19th, third week, almost the end of the month already, and I'm just blown away. We're coming up on the fourth quarter of the year. Christmas is around the corner. Hanukkah if you're Jewish, Kwanzaa if you're African, or whatever. I'm just blown away. I actually bought some Christmas presents this morning, so it just gets me thinking about, are you at the point in this year where you thought you'd be? And if not, it's time to take some massive action, take some initiative in your life, and get something accomplished. Why don't you start us off today, Paul?
Okay, well, for those of you who don't know what this is the Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate Training number 23. And what we do here is we are giving information to anyone who is interested in wholesale real estate, what it takes to be successful, how to be successful. We offer an opportunity to join our team to learn real estate wholesaling from the inside out, not having to figure out how to go land a good deal and all of the steps that it takes to do that, let alone turn around and sell it. Our program basically gets you directly upon finding a good deal, and we take everything else from that point and work it into the process of your training and education and learning how to do all this. So basically, our program says, show me the money, and we'll figure it out from there. Where everything else says, here it is, go figure it out, call me when you got the money. So that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what we offer. Complete opposite of what you're going to find anywhere else. Put you directly on some cash quickly to show you the power behind wholesale real estate investing, and that's it. So that's what we're all about. That's what we do here. And today, I'm not sure if John's got a plan other than what I might throw out here. We also are involved with a network marketing business, and we do Google Hangout trainings for our network marketing business as well. And this morning over there, we were talking about leverage, and I was going to throw a little bit of that towards this phone call, because in actuality, what we are trying to do with offering this opportunity, this program that you can become a part of by joining our team, we are actually trying to leverage the efforts of others so that not only we can cover more ground and obviously, make more profit, but also so that we can share in what it is that we do and know, and our knowledge and abilities to make that money, so that we can share that with others, teach them how to do what we're doing, and allow them to basically turn around and do the same thing. They can then share with others and teach them how to do the same thing and on down the line. So that's the power of leverage. That is exactly what we are attempting to do here with our program. And it's all about sharing, because there's plenty of opportunity out there in the wholesale real estate world. We can't do it all, and that's our problem, actually. We have so many powerfully good leads to get through that we just can't do it all. So it's time to share. And by doing so, we are planning to use leverage. John?
Actually, that plays into exactly what I was planning on us talking about today. Just to recap what we did on Wednesday, actually, we talked about their 7 steps to financial success, 7 steps to financial freedom, 7 steps to becoming a successful wholesaler. And leverage is basically where we left off last time we were on this hangout.
Cool.
Just to recap real quick, the 7 steps real fast is, number 1, of course, is the belief system. And that's probably one of the biggest things that Paul and I have been focusing on throughout these 23 trainings, is how important it is to have a strong belief system, to believe in what your abilities are, and having confidence in yourself, and believing that you have value to offer people in the marketplace as a wholesaler, which leads us actually into step 2 of the 7 steps to financial freedom, business success, and wholesaling success, and that is value. The law of income states you will be paid in direct proportion to the value that you deliver according to the marketplace. The value you deliver according to the marketplace. If you have something that you think is a great idea, but the marketplace don't want it, well, you don't have anything of value and you're not going to make any money. So you have to have something of value, which leads into timing. Timing is you want to be in the right product, in the right service, at the right time, which leads us to number 4, and I'm going through these very quickly here so we can talk about leverage today. Number 4 is systemization. This is the cornerstone, the keystone, if you will, in my opinion, to a successful business. And by system, I'm referring specifically to a business system, which is a repeatable process that produces a profit. If I go out and I do A and B, my result is C. And that is why, part of the reason why me and Paul started to do these hangouts and we're looking to reach out and get some people on board with our team, is because we've actually constructed an incredible system for lead generation. You'll hear all the gurus talk about finding the motivated seller. It looks like the call dropped Paul. Shoot. Paul will be back in a second. Call dropped him. What all the real estate programs and the wholesaling gurus out there, and there's a lot of good ones, don't get me wrong, and we're not here to bash anybody. We just have a different approach than most of these other systems. They all talk about finding the motivated sellers. Well, our system that we've developed has found those motivated sellers in spades. And we've spent the last couple years perfecting not only our lead generation system, but also systems for how we operate and run our business, systems for how we negotiate and work with our seller clients, and our system for how we flip and sell properties to our buyer investor cash clients. So we've got these systems in place. And me and Paul were only 2 people, so there's only so much 2 people can do, which leads us into the next step, step 5, which is duplication. Now it's time for me and Paul to start duplicating ourselves and training people to kind of take what we've already created, take it into the marketplace, get yourselves deals, make yourselves money, and in turn, that's going to actually help Paul and I to grow this business and make more money ourselves. And what we're doing through duplication is we're leveraging step number 6 to financial freedom and success in business and wholesaling is now the concept of leverage. And leverage is a very powerful tool. And I'm going to toss it.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not hearing you. So pass it over to me or something whenever you want me to talk. I'm not hearing a word you're saying.
Well, I'm hoping that everyone can hear me right now. It looks like me and Paul have maybe an issue. Hopefully you're hearing what I'm saying. That's difficult. But this will be interesting to see where Paul takes it if I toss it back to him and he can't hear what I'm talking about to continue with what I'm saying. Google Hangouts does have some issues, people, so it's an excellent platform for hosting these Hangouts. There's a lot of bugs that Google needs to work out because obviously we have a technical issue just about every day that's out of our control. Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Oh, now Paul can hear me. All right. Paul, what I left off at, I led us through steps 1 through 5, and we're now talking about leverage. And I was just expanding on what you were saying. It says leverage is a tool that's used to get the most out of the least. And in real estate especially, leverage is a cornerstone to successful real estate investing. You know, you might hear the term used, OPM, which means other people's money. In order to buy property, you know, the funny thing is, before I got into wholesaling real estate, I figured you had to be a millionaire or at least have a couple $100,000 in your bank account to even think about getting into real estate. What I didn't realize is that most of these investors, most of these guys flipping property, honestly, don't have a pot to piss in. Yet they can take a piece of real estate and generate large chunks of cash with little to no money down in a deal. And when I found that secret out, that, whoa, and I discovered the power of leverage, it changed my life. It actually changed my outlook completely on business and investing. Leverage is an extremely powerful tool. And, you know, there's a lot of things that can be leveraged. You know, there's one of the most important things is time. You know, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. And out of that 24 hours of the day, you've got 8 hours where you need to be sleeping. So you've got about 16 hours of the day where you're awake, functioning, and have the ability to do something. And rich people, successful people have figured out long ago how to leverage other people's time in order to make the time they spend on things worth the most. I brought up an example in our last call about a way to leverage time is, you know, myself as a single father, cleaning them up after 2 children is, you know, it takes a lot of time out of your day. And one of the ways that I can leverage some of my time and buy some of my time back is to leverage some of my money and other people's time to do the deep cleaning in my home, hire a cleaning service to come in and do that, thus buying myself back in 2 hours of my time that I'm not spent scrubbing toilet bowls and washing floors, because my 2 hours can be spent producing money, finding a deal, putting together some leads, doing a training, you know, this sort of thing. Paul's been off for a little while here, so I'm going to toss it back to him, but before I do, I'm just going to run through a quick list and then let Paul expand on it about different things that you can leverage other than time. To me, time is one of the most important. The next thing is money. You need to learn how to leverage money. You know, you can put you know, your money in the bank and let it sit there and earn you 0.5%, and that does essentially nothing but lose value because inflation kills that. But you got to learn how to leverage your money and invest it in things that are going to earn you 20%. And it's possible. Learn how to leverage your money. And running through this real quick, leveraging people. You can leverage products and services. You can leverage the media. You can leverage the internet and technology. You can leverage other people's business systems. And that's kind of what we're offering here, is your ability to leverage Paul and I's business system so that you don't have to go out and create a system of your own, but you can tap into a system and use it and leverage it that's already in existence. I'm going to let Paul take over now because I love this concept and I can go on forever about leverage and the power of.
Yeah, exactly. I know this. Well, this is a powerful concept because, like we talked about earlier on the other call this morning, is that leverage is actually the magical ingredient that's going to lead to your success. Because really, winners are the people that are doing the thinking while others are doing the doing. And do it yourself, especially in today's world, with all of the information that there is to know, do it yourself is a loser mentality in today's world. And what I mean by this is that first of all, if you even fathom the idea of the fact that that you're able to, that you have all the knowledge and ability to do it all yourself, then you are an idiot, because there's just far too much information out there for one person to even know or try to know before you could even successfully apply all of this knowledge. And there's just not enough time in the day is what it all totally comes down to. Like John said, there's only 24 hours in a day, and you're sleeping 8 of those hours. You're left with 16 hours a day. And also, alongside of with the do-it-yourself mentality, not only do you not have the time within a day to be able to accomplish all this stuff, and like I said, that goes from number one, learning it. It's impossible. It takes forever to learn this stuff these days. And then secondarily, applying it, and then applying it, successfully. But the whole thing is, with do-it-yourself mentality, what you're doing, even if this is your own business, I mean, that you're talking about here, if this is your own business, and you're saying, hey, I'm a business owner, I own a business, et cetera, and so on, you really don't. You really own a job, because you're trading your time for your money. And until you stop trading your time, your personal time, for your money, you like I said, if you own a business, you actually, you in actuality own a job. If you are an employee of someone else, you're trading your time for your money, and you're just, the only way that you can get back your time is through leverage. That's the only way that it's possible. That's why this is the key magical ingredient, because your time is the most valuable time on the planet to you, and your time should be spent doing the one thing that generates the most amount of income for you. Everything else that you're doing besides that one task, you are wasting your time. And everything else besides that one task that you are doing, you need to be leveraging someone else to take that time off of your plate, what it takes to do that menial task, and give that time back to you so that you can spend it in the area where it makes you the most money. That's the power of leverage. And that, exactly what I was talking about in the beginning here, why we are looking to leverage the abilities of others to help us to join our team to do what we do to grow this business, is because what we're going to be having you doing is something that isn't the number one thing that makes us the most money. It's the secondary thing. But still, even the secondary thing to what makes us the most money needs to be leveraged at some level if we're ever going to advance even further in our business. And that's the same thing with you. And this starts at the base level. I mean, if you're out there and you have a business and you have to do, you have to do marketing and sales, you have to do your production, you have to do your administration, and then you have to do well, let's just leave it at that. Okay, so your administration, right? You got to do the bookkeeping. Well, you're not good at bookkeeping, for one, let's just say. Okay, you didn't go to accounting school, so bookkeeping is a pain in the rear end for you. It takes you, you end up having to spend 2 hours a week just keeping the books up so that you can run your business. Well, if you are spending 2 hours a week doing your books, and you can be doing something else whenever you're doing whatever it is that you do, and you make $100 an hour when you do what you do, right? If you're spending your time doing those books that you're not good at in the first place, and you can't stand doing anyway, but you could pay somebody $20 an hour to do those books for you, do you see what you've just done? You've just given yourself $80 an hour raise for that 2 hour period, and you've given yourself back, you've bought back 2 hours of your productive time where you can be making that $100. So that's the power of leverage. I don't know if you guys get that concept or not. I'm not quite sure another way that I could put this, but the whole idea of the fact that the number one most important thing that you do that generates the most amount of money, that's where you need to have all your focus. Everything else, you need to be having somebody else doing all these menial tasks, taking that time off of your plate that you're wasting on those tasks so that you can apply it to where it's most important. With that, John, I'm going to toss it back over to you. I think hopefully I drove the point home about the power of leverage.
Well, you drove it home to me, and we're going to drive it home probably just about every day from here on out on these calls, how powerful this tool is, because those of you who are contemplating joining our team or already have joined the team or are watching these hangouts, Paul and I and the system we've created and the leads that we have and what we can teach you, you can leverage that. You leverage us to get all these things, because what you don't know, you don't know. And you should never, in my opinion, think that you need to learn everything. One of the things I said that you can be leveraged is other people, which means what do other people have that you can leverage? They have knowledge that you don't have. They have money that you don't have. They have technologies that you don't have. They have contacts that you don't have. So if you have a good network of people and who have money, who have knowledge, who have technologies and contacts, you can leverage what they have, and it benefits you both. I went to an amazing event the other night with Sharon Lecter was the speaker, and me and Paul are big on talking about trends and where shifts have happened. And she said, we're out of the information age now, and we're into the communication age. And communication, leveraging communication amongst people. We're in an age of co-opetition now, basically, when we enter this communication age. You're not going to be successful in business if you try to do everything on your own. That is a fact. And you need a team, and you need to be surrounding yourself with people who already have what you want. And they'll surround themselves with you because you're going to have something they want, a quality that they need to leverage to bring success for them. And in this age of communication and co-opetition.
And I want to add one more word to that, engagement.
Engagement, yes. The age of communication, engagement, and co-opetition, it's about, JV partnerships, joint ventures, training and hangout like me and Paul are doing, connecting with people that can help take you to the next level. And that's all has to do with leveraging. And I'm going to toss it over to Paul here in just 1 second to kind of close this out. But I want to touch on something he brought up about most people who think that they own a business, but the business owns them. They're self-employed, which means they own their job. Well, you have to think strategically to when you own your business. If you really want to consider yourself a business owner, you're in the position to think and act strategically in that business. You're the conceptualizer. It's your ideas being put into play, and it's your systems being put into play. And you're out there, and you're just doing those tasks which are going to bring you the most amount of money. But a business owner,
How many years were you a part owner of your own job in the paint company?
Yeah, 10 years, almost 7 years before I figured it out. Over the last 3 years, I actually would consider myself a business owner now. Thinking strategically, and a strategic thinker, someone who owns their business, and the business doesn't own them, uses leverage. And they use leverage to accomplish the doing part of the business. And the doing part is, my paint business. I'm not out there painting every day, but I'm utilizing my employees and I'm leveraging their skills and their abilities and compensating them for that. And that is where I am a business owner. I think strategically and I use leverage to accomplish the doing. And I'm going to toss it back to Paul, who can give his final thoughts, and then he can go ahead and close this out with our prayer. And I just want to tell everyone to make this an awesome weekend. Email us at propertynoodlers@gmail.com and get on board with our team, because we have a lot to offer, and I know that you have a lot to offer us as well. Age of communication, joint ventures, engagement. Let's connect.
Well, yeah, you know what? And another aspect of leverage too is a mentor. If you are going out there and you're getting a mentor, you're leveraging someone else's knowledge, someone else's skills, someone else's information, someone else's value in the marketplace. You're leveraging everything that they already have to help you learn and grow. And so not only are we trying to leverage your efforts and help, create more income for us, we're also offering you an opportunity to leverage our already built experience and knowledge and systems and duplication and everything that we've talked about here in the first part, the belief system, the value that we're delivering to the marketplace, our systems, the timing of where we're at. We're giving you the opportunity to leverage us. So this isn't a one-way street. We're not looking to try to take advantage of you. We're actually offering you a huge, huge opportunity here to leverage us to your benefit as well. And I just want to say that, throughout history, the richest people, the wealthiest families, the secret societies, all these types of elite of the world have always done their learning process, their growing process throughout life. They didn't really call it a mentorship; they called it an internship. Whereas, you would have a mentor, and you would be that mentor's intern. And this was not just a short, you're going to have, this guy's going to be your mentor for 2 years, and you're going to follow, and you're going to learn, and you're going to watch and learn and learn how what am I trying to say? How the financially free, how the super wealthy, how we run our lives. This is a mentorship for life. You got attached to this person, and it's not like you spent every waking hour with them, but every opportunity that you got, that there was specific times and specific events, and your mentor would give you a call every now and then and say, hey, did you see what happened over here on this day? Oh, yeah, well, what'd you think of that? What'd you take from that? They would be coaching you, and this went on even when you advanced to the point where you yourself could become a mentor to another intern. When you had an intern, you were still an intern. You were always learning throughout your whole life, and that's the way it still goes on today in the elite of this world. And that's something that the common people have gotten away from, because the education that has been given to us has been pounded into us of independency and the do-it-yourself way of thinking. And so it's tough to get beyond that do-it-yourself way of thinking and into the whole concept of communication and engagement and co-opetition, because that's what has been pounded into us over the past hundreds of years. And so being able to have a mentor that you can learn from, ask questions from, someone who's going to question you, give you tasks, give you abilities, and test you, is the key way of getting your advancement to move forward in the quickest possible manner. And both of that is leverage. And again, just as I talked about, it's leverage in both directions. It's leverage of us leveraging your efforts to benefit us, because even in those secret societies and all of that mentorship that I just talked about, you don't think that the mentor used the mentee or the apprentice to perform certain tasks as a lesson. Absolutely they do. That's how they learn, and this is the same thing. We'll be having you perform certain tasks, which is how you will learn, but at the same time, like I said, you're getting a great opportunity to leverage our knowledge, become an apprentice of our business, and that's all I got to say. John, do you have one?
Win-win.
Yeah. Huh?
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah, exactly. You want to throw anything in before I pray us out of here?
You said it all. If I start throwing things in, we'll never end this call. So.
Well, that's why we are already 5 minutes over. So. Anyway, yes, so leverage is a huge part of the real estate world in every aspect. From it's a team effort, and not just within the learning and growing part of this, but also in just the application of it, being out there in the world, talking to people, title companies, real estate agents, whatever, there's a whole lot of finance people, money people, et cetera, and so on. There's a whole lot of moving parts that all require communication, engagement, and competition in order for you to have your success. So with that, O universe, we ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches that we were given at birth, which, by the way, I must say are amazing, valuable riches, consisting of the power to control and direct our own mind to whatever end mean we desire. So with that, you guys all have a great weekend.
One more thing.
What's that?
Oh, I just want to say, one thing that I think I'd like to give a little homework here for anybody watching this. Really consider what we talked about here today with leverage, and think about things that you're currently doing and how you could utilize other people and start leveraging certain aspects of your life. If you got some money in a savings account, think about how you can leverage that money to make you more money, no matter what dollar amount you have. But think about it over the weekend as homework. What are some things in my life that I can leverage? And ask yourself that question starting today, and do it every morning, and get this concept at the cellular level. That's all I wanted to add in.
Yeah, did you give them all the possibility things of leverage that they could possibly leverage? So these are some of the things you could possibly leverage. Think about, like you said, any which way you can leverage time, you can leverage money, you can leverage people, you can leverage other people's talents, other people's knowledge, other people's connections, you can leverage products, you can leverage the media, you can leverage the technology, you can leverage systems, okay? And there's more than that, but that's plenty for you to think about. And like John said, think about those things right there and how you can utilize leverage in any of those areas.